Hey guys, in today's lesson we're going to talk about how we can multiply a polynomial by a monomial. So you're going to start off with a one-term poly, multiplying it by something larger, okay? So why don't you go ahead, pause this video, and read through these directions. So do that now. Okay, great. So I'm going to show you, or the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to just use that distributive property because I think that's the quickest for me. So I'm just going to kind of use those arrows to help guide me. So first I'm going to do x times 5x. So that's 5x squared. Now some of you are thinking, oh, but Miss Bailey, in the last video you said you can't do x and x squareds. This is multiplication. So you can multiply any terms, okay? So just be careful with that. So when I do x times x squared, that is going to be x cubed. How do I know that? X to the first times x squared. Remember when we learned about those exponent properties? So you add those exponents. So this becomes 5x squared plus x cubed. Remember, those are not like terms, so you can't combine them. That's just the final answer. Let's look at number 2. Oops. So I'm going to use that distributive property. I highly encourage you, draw in those arrows so you don't forget. So I'm going to do x times 4x squared. So that's going to be 4x cubed. Then I'm going to do x times 3x. So that would be plus 3x squared. X times 2, so plus 2x. That's it. Let's do another one. Looking at number 3, I'm distributing that negative 2xy. Okay, so that's going to be negative 2xy times 2y. Well, negative 2 times 2 is negative 4. Keep the x, and then y times y would be y squared. Now I'm going to do negative 2xy times 4x squared. Well, negative 2 times positive 4 is going to give me negative 8, so I'm going to write minus 8. And then xy times x squared. Well, the x times the x squared gives me x cubed. Keep the y. Okay, let's do another one. Let's go to number 4. So this time you're going to distribute a negative 2g. So I'm going to get my arrows. So negative 2g times g squared. That's going to give me negative 2g cubed. Negative 2g times another negative 2g. Negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4, so plus 4. G times g gives me g squared. Then I've got to do negative 2g times positive 2. Negative 2 times positive 2 is negative 4. Keep the g. Okay, let's do one more together. Look at number 5. So first I'm going to do 3x times x to the 4th. So that'd be 3x to the 5th. Then 3x times x cubed. So plus 3x to the 4th power. Then 3x times x squared. So plus 3x cubed. All right, guys. Now it's your turn. I just want you to do 6 through 9 right now. So go ahead, pause that video and do 6 through 9. Okay, guys, so you did 6 through 9. Go ahead and pause the video, check over those problems. Great. Again, as I have said before, jot it down if you have any questions so you can bring them to my attention. All right, the bottom of this page for 10 through 17, the directions are simplify. So what's going to happen here is you're going to have to multiply a monomial and a polynomial, and then you'll have to do combine like terms to simplify. Okay, so let's look at number 10. So first, I'm going to distribute that x. So that would be 3x squared minus 4x, then bring down that minus 5x. Now I can combine my like terms. So negative 4x minus 5x is negative 9x. So I get 3x squared minus 9x. That's it. Let's go to number 11. Again, you're going to start off by distributing. So negative x times 2x squared would be negative 2x cubed. Then we'll do negative x times negative 4x. So that would be positive 4x squared. Then bring down the minus 6x squared. And I see I have like terms. That 4x squared minus 6x squared. So that'd be negative 2x squared. If I'm going too fast, remember that you can always pause the video, rewind, whatever you need to do, okay? All right, number 12, we'll do this one together. So this one, I've got two sets of parentheses. So first I'm going to distribute that 6a. So 6a times 2a makes 12a squared. Then 6a times negative b would be minus 6ab. And then I'm going to distribute the 2a. So positive 2a times negative 4a would be negative 8a squared. So minus 8a squared. And then 2a times 5b. So that would be 2 times 5 is 10. So positive 10ab. And now I'm going to combine my like terms. So the 12a squared minus 8a squared makes 4a squared. Negative 6ab plus 10ab is positive 4ab. So plus 4ab. Okay, let's do another one. Let's actually skip to number 14 real quick. And then I'll let you do the rest. Okay, and I'll tell you why in a minute. All right, so first we're going to distribute that 4n. Let me zoom in just a little bit more. So 4n times 3n squared will be 12n cubed. 4n times n is plus 4n squared. And 4n times negative 4 would be negative, so minus 16n. Now, this is why I wanted to do this one. In front of that n I'm getting ready to distribute is a minus sign. And we said that the minus sign outside of the parentheses just changed the sign of everything inside. And it does. So be careful about that. You can think of this, though, as negative n times 3. So that would be negative, or in this case, minus 3n. And then I'm going to do negative n times negative n. So that's positive n squared. Okay, now I can combine my like terms. 12n cubed can't be combined with anything, so I'll bring it down. 4n squared plus n squared, so that'd be plus 5n squared. Negative 16n minus 3n, so that's minus 19n. That's it. Okay, now it's going to be your turn. So you're going to do 13, 15, 16, and 17. So pause the video and do those problems now. Okay guys, welcome back. So first I want you to double check your answers for these problems. Go ahead and do that now. Great. Again, if you have any questions about how I got my answers or anything, then you want to bring those to my attention so I can help you. All right, we're going to go to the next page. So on this next page, we're going to work on solving an equation with a polynomial expression. So go ahead and pause the video and read through this information now. Okay, let's get right to it. So the directions for these problems, it just says to solve each equation. So let's jump right in with number 1. So we're going to have to distribute first. So that's going to be 2a, let me write that a little bit better. 2a minus 6 equals negative 6a plus 18. Okay, this actually doesn't look any different than problems you've done in the past. So you're going to either subtract 2a on both sides or add 6a on both sides. So I'm going to add the 6a on both sides, giving me 8a minus 6 equals 18. Then I'm going to add 6 on both sides. So 18 plus 6 is 24. Divide both sides by 8. 24 divided by 8 is 3. So A would be 3. And that's it. Let's go straight down to problem 3. So we're going to distribute. This one is a little bit different. So I'm going to do 3x times x first, which would be 3x squared. 3x times negative 5, so minus 15x. Bring down the minus 3x squared equals negative 30. Well, when I combine my like terms on the left, those 3x squared minus 3x squared, they just canceled, leaving me with negative 15x equals negative 30. Divide both sides by negative 15. So x is going to be 2. Okay, so this isn't really much different than what we've done in the past, right? You're just going to have, variables on both sides, potentially, and you're going to be using your distributive property. All right, so let's look at number 5. So I'm going to distribute that 4. So that's going to be 8p plus 4 minus 12p equals 16p plus 24. On the left, I can combine the p's. 8p minus 12p would give me negative 4p, bringing down the plus 4. And then on the right, I don't have any like terms that I can combine, so I'm just bring it all down. Okay, now I'm going to get all the p's together. I can either add 4p on both sides or subtract 16p on both sides. I'm going to add the 4p on both sides. That leaves me with 4 on the left. 16p plus 4p is 20p. Then bring the plus 24. And then I have to subtract 24 on both sides now. So I'm going to do 4 minus 24, which would give me negative 20 equals 20p. Divide both sides by 20. So I get that negative 1 is equal to p. Okay? Let's do one more together. Oops, there we go. All right, so I'm going to start off by distributing the negative 2. So that'd be negative 8y plus 6 minus 8y plus 6 equals 4y minus 8. All right, on the left, I have like terms that can be combined. So negative 8y minus 8y is negative 16y. And then that 6 plus 6 gives me positive 12, so plus 12, equals, on the right, equals 4y minus 8. All right, I can either add 16y to both sides or subtract 4y on both sides. I'm going to add the 16y. So I'm going to do 4y plus 16y, which gives me 20y. Bring down the minus 8. Now I'm going to add 8. So I do 12 plus 8, which is 20. So I get that 20 equals 20y, which means 1 is equal to y. I said I was going to do one more, number 7, but I'm actually going to do number 9 also with you. And then I'm going to let you do some on your own. So you're going to distribute the 3 first. So that becomes 3x squared minus 6x equals 3x squared plus 5x minus 11. Okay, on the left side, there are no like terms that can be combined. And on the right side, there are no like terms that can be combined. But notice you have x squared terms on both sides of the equation. If I subtract 3x squared from both sides, so like if I subtracted 3x squared from here, I'd have to also do it here, which means they just canceled out. No more x squared terms, leaving me with negative 6x equals 5x minus 11. So you could add 6x on both sides first, but I think in this case, since that's the only term on the left, I'd subtract the 5x on both sides. So that's negative 11x equals negative 11, which means that x is 1. Okay, now it's going to be your turn. So I want you to do, let's see, you don't need to do all of them. Let's do 11, 13, 15, 12, 14, and 16. And I want you to write because when I go back to check over this, I want to make sure I remember. So I need you to write on 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. I want you to write skip. So that I don't forget, okay, when I'm checking it and accidentally mark something wrong. So you can pause the video, and basically you're going to do 11 through 16. So pause the video and do those problems now. Okay guys, welcome back. So you're going to check over your answers. So I've got 11, 13, and 15 displayed here. So pause the video and check those answers now. All right, I'm going to show you 12, 14, and 16. Pause the video and get those now. Okay, so I'm betting that 15 and 16 really threw you for a loop because your answers weren't integers. They were actually fractions. And that's totally fine. That can absolutely happen. Every answer to an equation isn't always going to be an integer. Okay, so if you have questions, remember you need to bring these up to me so that I can assist you. Once you're finished making your corrections, go ahead and turn this assignment in and work on your independent practice.